God even is white, white fire. It will burn, burn, burn. It will burn, burn. Not even fear will stand a chance. Om Namah Shivaya. Not even ashes will be left behind. Om Namah Shivaya. Holy fire is all that you are. His white fire is all there is. Holy fire is all that you are. His white teacher, light of his life. O King of kings, O Lord of lords, Master, O Master, O Jesus, my Master. Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, Om Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, Ananda Bhagavan, Sachidananda Ananda Bhagavan, Sachidananda. Om Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, Om Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, Ananda Bhagavan, Sachidananda Ananda Bhagavan, Sachidananda Om Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, Om Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan, Ananda Bhagavan, Sachidananda Bhagavan, Ananda Bhagavan, Everything is Shiva.
Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang this morning. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki
Jai.
It's a very beautiful passage which I shared also by Wusim. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. But I feel in this one passage it is encapsulated the entirety of, or at least the most of what we speak about in Satsang. Maybe I can read it. And then if something comes up for some of you, you can also share about it. So when he says, the principle which is in you is talking to you through this Wusim. The principle which is in you is talking to you through this Wusim. What does it mean?
I feel it's like I'm pretending to be at a certain level of development of consciousness or something in the play, and a part of the play is that there are other forms which are also me, which are playing as more, as higher or with more wisdom and more clarity, and so I'm speaking to myself, encouraging this aspect of it to expand.
The principle which is in you is talking to you through this Wusim. Very good. So it's very familiar actually, isn't it? It's your own presence, your own Satguru, which is speaking through the body of the Master, your own consciousness. Then he says, nothing can subjugate you to which you have not assigned value. Nothing can subjugate you to which you have not assigned value. So share about that. Also in the hangout we can say if someone wants. Subjugate means to oppress you, torment you.
May I say further?
Yes. Yes.
It's like don't believe your next thought.
So you can expand a little bit on it.
Nothing can substitute unless you assign a value to it. That means if you don't believe your next thought, it cannot lead you into idea of separation. No.
Yes, my dear. Yes, we can hear you very well.
So this is basically saying that don't believe what the mind is saying, right? Or rather don't assign any value to this idea of separation.
So it's the assigning of value
That is belief.
that is belief. Nothing can subjugate you to which you have not assigned value. So to what can we assign value?
To either thoughts or interpretation about what is happening.
And even the interpretation is what?
Thoughts itself also. And the one who is assigning value is nothing but consciousness.
Yes. So it says nothing can subjugate you to which you have not assigned value. Therefore, if we don't assign this meaning, this belief, this value to the next thought, to the interpretation of what is, like he said very beautifully, then nothing can subjugate us. This is very beautiful because first he said that the Guru is your own presence, which is speaking through this construct called Wusin at the moment. Then straight he gets to the end of suffering. He says nothing can subjugate you to which you have not assigned value. So therefore nothing can make you suffer without your belief. Very beautiful. Then he says, be like space, regardless of what appears in it. It isn't affected. Be like space, regardless of what appears in it. It isn't affected. Existence is one without any second. Existence is one without any second. Only in becoming apparent, it is obliged to divide into an apparent seer and an apparently seen. In that way, being is the beginning of duality, space and time, limited and temporary. So let's go slowly. Be like space. Regardless of what appears in it, it isn't affected. Existence is one without any second. Somebody wants to speak about this much? How to be like space? He says, be like space. Regardless of what appears in it, it isn't affected. How to be like space?
It's like don't touch anything that appears, or don't hold anything that appears.
What does that mean?
Not to identify with anything that appears.
How not to identify? So,
By not believing yourself to be anything that you can see or perceive.
So, in the appearance, when we start to call it me or mine, when we start to attach to it in this way, my life, my family, my sangha, my satsang, we start putting this my or me to it. That is the attachment. But even this attachment is impossible without belief and thought. The only way to identify, we cannot identify with something without our belief, isn't it? So, be like space is actually not a doing. You cannot be doing the I'm just being like space. You are like space unless you are believing otherwise. Regardless of what appears in it. Yes. So whatever appears, whatever comes and goes, if we don't say me, mine, we don't give it meaning, this should not be, this should be more like this. If you're not judging it, if you're not interpreting it, believing the interpretation, then automatically it is so, it is like this.
Further, you said be a space is not doing, but it's like I experiencing it could be active, like means it's okay, you see the thoughts coming, and if you don't believe, then there is a resistance coming while this thought is, that's also a thought, you see, but it could be active, uh, it could be active, like being in that neutral place where nothing just coming back and back means I'm kind of actively doing that. in a way, because it's something which not very apparent, because your inner first reflex is go back to thought and identify. So is it right to
Yes.
actively being
We are
trying
actively
to be
staying with the presence.
trying to be present, stay with present?
He speaks also about that a little later. Existence is one without the second. When we are not labeling, when we are not taking the interpretations of these thoughts, then there is only oneness. We cannot separate something without first labeling it or interpreting it. Only in becoming apparent, it is obliged to divide into an apparent seer and an apparent seen. In that way, being is the beginning of duality, space and time, duality, comma, space and time, limited and temporary. Only in becoming apparent, it is obliged to divide into an apparent seer and an apparently seen. In that way, being is the beginning of duality, space and time, limited and temporary. What does it mean, only in becoming apparent?
It's like Nisarg Kadatta Maharaj. I learned it. He said, for the concept of unity to exist, first must be duality. So it's like, as it is, we're so home that the idea of coming home can't even arise yet, but only in the being arising out of awareness, out of what we are, then only then can this concept of unity. But in truth, there's no even unity, because there's no separation.
Anyone else?
I think he seems to say the second point is the main one,
Yeah.
that he says your default state is natural openness. And to get to something, either you have a sign value and that can subjugate you. And out of this openness, even to create something, you have to create it from by assigning value. Or I think what was this? What I says, dependency.
Yes, let me say that again. Only in becoming apparent, it is obliged to divide into an apparent seer and an apparent seen. In that way, being is the beginning of duality, space and time, limited and temporary.
Yeah. So only when you assign value and an attribute, something stands out. And when it stands out, you have one that stood out, and that's kind of what he's saying. And if value is not, an attribute is not given to it, it has to resolve back to the ground.
I interpreted that as like, I actually don't know what we're doing, by the way. I'm a minute late, but you're reading things and we're interpreting them?
Yeah.
Okay. I interpreted it as like out of the absolute,
Yeah.
then when something becomes apparent, when it, like the presence comes,
Yeah.
and then the presence comes to observe the observable objects, and actually, so in that case, because some witnessing presence comes,
Yeah.
it needs to witness something. So just the appearance of this, the presence itself is the first, it's the beginning of duality.
It's very good. That's why it says being is the beginning of duality. It leads to space and time, is limited and temporary compared to the reality of what you are. Okay? Then he says, to see that everything simply arises in consciousness is a liberating disposition. To see that everything simply arises in consciousness. That's why when we check what are the boundaries of our being, and it's everything being experienced within this being, is anything outside of you as consciousness. Once you see that everything is in this one consciousness, one being, it says to see that everything simply arises in consciousness is a liberating disposition. Because then the sense of separation is not there. Then the interpretation is not believed. I want to also share more about this. To see that everything simply arises in consciousness is a liberating disposition. It's clear? Okay, then he says, when you identify with the body, its problems become yours. The further one moves away from the self-referential point of view, the closer one comes to reality. Differences in appearances and expression may be here, may be there, but they do not matter. When you identify with the body, its problems become yours. It's pretty clear. The further one moves away from the self-referential point of view, the closer one comes to reality. Now, terminology there can be a bit confusing because in traditional Advaita we refer to the self as reality. But in Buddhism, maybe even in Zen, when they say self-referential in this way, they're referring to some appearance as myself. And when we move away from this perspective, either the body or the mind is no longer referred to as self, the closer one we become to the reality of what we are. Differences in appearance and expression may be there, but they do not matter. It's funny that just the previous sentence is a difference in the expression. The self is referred to differently, but ultimately that does not matter. Also, at another level, it could mean that you could have different appearances and expressions appearing and disappearing, but they do not matter. Finally, it is discerned that one is always knowing, never the known. There is only the greatness appearing as everything. Finally, it is discerned that one is always knowing, never the known. There is only the greatness appearing as everything. Mr. Shah, about this? That's it.
It's like even this entire universe and this realm within which it expresses itself, and any other realm which could express any other form of consciousness, and any other dimension, and any other level of expression or experience is absolutely non-existent unless we know it. And actually, the only thing which we can really say exists is the knowing of it, because if we're not here to know it, then it doesn't exist, no matter how grand or spectacular it is.
It's always knowing, never the known. This is very important. Just the other day, maybe we had a satsang which was titled, if it can be known, then it is not you. So it is the knowingness itself that knows even presence. You see, because only from that point can we say something like being is the beginning of duality. You see, not from a personal perspective, not even from the perspective of being itself, not even as God, I am that I am. Then we say that being is the beginning of duality. Only from the perspective of this knowingness itself. You see, never the object that is known, including the knowing of being itself. It is discerned that one is always knowing that I am always this knowing. Prior even to I am the knowing. Never the known. There is only the greatness appearing as everything. This knowingness itself is appearing as everything, including consciousness. This is enlightenment, the realization of the isness of what is, the where of what is, and the when of what is. It's very nice, isn't it?
The knowing, the knowing sentence that you said, can it also be interpreted as no object can ever be truly known? Can it ever be truly touched?
Yeah.
It's only the knowing that can touch.
Yes.
Could it be that line be
Also look at
interpreted?
it like this. Yes, but even if it is not this line, I feel very great beauty in what you say. Because everything is known as the knowing itself.
Yeah. It can never be truly touched.
Yes.
You only know the knowing. That's how I.
Bhagwan, can I come in?
Yes, my dear.
Bhagwan, for some time what is happening that this desire to know, desire to interpret, all this is just fading away. Like whatever you are talking is just seen as kind of a hearing
Yes.
without any meaning or any words or any interpretation. So I just see a figure, movement of the lips. So I have tried it very hard actually, but it is just not clicking. It
Yes.
is just fading away, disintegrating. The satsang which I hear, I don't remember. What I read actually, they don't register. It is just kind of a some black and white kind of a thing. All the definitions, everything is just dissolving actually. It is going to very, very basic things like only the five senses working.
Yes.
So, and there is no interpretation from the mind actually.
Very good. Very good.
So now what is happening? There is a complete, I can't even say the silence because even the silence is seen. Okay. Everything is seen in fact, I'm totally naked. I'm totally naked in fact. It is difficult to explain.
Yes.
It is very difficult to explain. And then what happens? There is no desire to know anything. There is no desire to understand anything, or there is no desire to learn anything, to do anything, or act on anything. I mean, nothing to be done as such.
Yes.
Nothing to be done. Now what happens? a thought comes. A thought comes. Are you aware? Now this creates a doubt. This creates a doubt that this state, which may be natural or which may be a kind of a hypnotic state. I do not know what is the truth behind this state. You know, whatever I have told you is the experience. Now, the question comes, whether this experience itself can be seen. So, this can be seen. The one who is experiencing this, the one who is explaining all this to you, and this is also seen.
Yes.
I mean, there is nothing which is not naked in this.
Yes.
There is nothing which is not naked in this. So then who is to meditate? For whom is the silence? Even this also disintegrates.
Yes.
And I want to know whether it is a natural state. From where is this doubt coming? I mean, why even this question is coming up?
Yes.
From where is this question coming up? If this is a natural state, why even this question should come? Is this seen also? Is this seen also? So the mind just cannot go into any kind of a hypnosis, including the conviction that this is it.
Yes. Exactly.
So I'm just seeing even the arising of this question, whether this is seen or this is not seen, and the one who is getting disturbed by this or the one who is doubting about this.
Very good. Very good. So,
I mean,
yeah, let's look at where you started from. You said that I tried and tried and tried to know things, and now all this knowing is dropping. I cannot know anything. All I see is that some appearances are coming, a body is coming in front of me, the lips are moving, some words are being shared, but the sense of analyzing it, interpreting it, all of that seems completely futile and is not happening here. This is very good. This is very good. So this is the dropping of the mental or conceptual knowing through which nothing can truly be known actually. Then you say that there is just this seeing of all of this. It seems so natural. The seeing of this entire play is here and it seems very natural. And if this is natural, then why does these kind of questions arise that isn't even this seeing? Aren't you seeing even your own state of mind? These kind of questions are coming. So let the questions also come and go. Don't have to analyze them also. Don't have to worry about whether they are, why are they still coming? They should have stopped by now. You see, these kind of things don't worry about. Because the mind also comes pretending to be your ally. And saying, see, I'm still helping you. I'm helping you to look. Come like this. But we don't need this ally. Even these thoughts can be allowed to come and go. Because now if you're saying that the dropping of all conceptual knowing is happening, all mental knowing is happening, then not even these questions from the mind are relevant now. They can also come and go. Without any effort to see anything, the seeing is happening. This primal seeing, this primal witnessing, which witnesses everything, you see, is what is also being called here the knowingness itself. You see, what is the difference between conceptual knowing and this knowing? This knowing knows even the picking up of conceptual knowing and the dropping of conceptual knowing. So you say, I don't know anything anymore. But you know that you don't know anything anymore. It is not a mental knowing, but it is seeing that there used to be ideas here, and now these ideas are gone. They have no value. They have no strength. You see? So this is seeing. This seeing is what is also referred to as knowing, the primal knowing. So we can say the witnessing of being, the seeing of the presence, or the knowing that the presence is here. We use these terms synonymously. But this knowing has nothing to do with judgments, interpretation, mental understanding, intellectual prowess. It's very good that all of this is being dropped. Now this knowingness which remains is effortless prior to any concept of effort. So allow all these thoughts to come and go. And remain in this naturalness of not knowing anything. Also, don't pick up the one who is the checker and the reporter, because this checker man is my nemesis. Because it's very quick to take your temperature. Don't take your temperature also. Drop the thermometer. Don't know anything even about your state. Don't make any report cards. Don't make any correspondence about it. Just allow it to be whatever it is. And like this, you're very welcome to come to Satsang, and I don't mind when you say that none of the words are registering, I'm not able to give meaning to them. Yes, the words were only used to point you to this naturalness of not knowing. You see? So don't have to struggle to understand the words. If they don't have meaning, just hear them as if some music is playing in the background. You're not trying to interpret it, nothing. This not knowing mentally, this conceptual not knowing is very beautiful.
I mean,
Hello, Ananta.
there is
Huh?
there is no experience also. I mean, no words, nothing. Not even desire to blaze, away words, nothing. There is not even oneness, separation.
Very,
Nothing is there.
very good. Very good. Let go of all of these concepts. Very good. No oneness, no separation. I don't know anything about these things. It's very beautiful, very pristine like this.
I'm just holding the
Huh?
feet of the masters. I'm just holding out to the feet of the masters.
Very
That's all. That's all. If anything comes, I just hold the feet of the masters.
Very
That's all. I don't want to know what the reality is, what the truth is. There is no desire to know anything.
Very good. Very good.
Bhagwan, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, my dear, I can.
Good to see you. It's my first satsang with you.
Very welcome here, my dear. Very welcome here.
Happy to be here. I I had a question for you, and it is that I've been doing self-inquiry for a little while now, and I noticed that there's a lot of spaciousness in my heart. And I also went to see Muji Baba recently in Zimar the first time, and it was very beautiful. And since then, I've also noticed that, you know, I'm definitely in a space where I can be behind the camera lens and be more identified with the witness than in front. But there's also periods where, you know, I get in front of the lens and then I'm lost. And then, you know, I have to ask the questions, is who is making future plans, or who is making having conversations with people in his head, and those kind of questions to bring it back behind the lens. And my question is, how can you tell that that voice that's helping you ask the questions can be trusted?
You mean the voice of the self-inquiry itself?
You're right, right. That voice that is sort of helping you bring you back in the place of the witness, and the voice that is saying just stay as the emptiness and observe the emptiness, or, you know, stay as the awareness and be empty. How can you tell if that is that's the right voice?
It's very good. This question is very good. So, if we were to drop all allegiance to this voice, all belief in this voice, then what remains? So, suppose even this voice, which is saying, now you just stay as the self, stay behind the camera, stay as the witness, who are you now? You see? This one, if we drop all allegiance to this one, all belief is withdrawn from this voice also, then what remains?
Then just nothing, sort of nothing remains.
Yes. Is it a bad nothing?
No, it's a good nothing, but it goes away quickly, because then thoughts come up and then there's attraction, and but then again, when you can bring it back to the nothing, it's a very good nothing.
So the thoughts are also this voice, isn't it? You see, so what we can say is that if we drop everything that this mind is saying, then allow these concepts, who am I aware now, the ones that bringing you are pointing you to your true position, allow them to be dropped last. Because the mind is so tricky, it can say, but these pointers are also the mind. You see, which they are ultimately. Like Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi said that these are just thorns that we are using to remove other thorns from our finger, and then both the thorns are thrown away. So even who am I is a concept. Don't believe your next thought is a concept. But these are just concepts we are removing. There are very few concepts which can be used in this way to help us come to our true nature, to our reality of what we are. So then after they're done with their use, once we remove the thorns from our finger, we don't need to hold on to this thorn anymore. Even this is thrown away. So either we say that this entire voice of the mind is now not going to be believed. And we drop the allegiance to the mind. Then we see that what I am is this awareness. which is aware of the presence of my being. I don't need a thought for that. I don't need a crutch for that, a tool for that anymore. You see? But if we drop the inquiry thoughts, but we still believe other thoughts, then we better pick up the inquiry thoughts again quickly. Yes.
Okay, that makes I understand that. Okay, but yeah, sometimes these thorns that I'm using to remove the other thorns, sometimes they get very proactive.
Yes. Yes.
So,
That's what I was saying a little earlier also, that the mind tries to come in and now pretends to be your ally in the search for the self. But even this will be dropped. So if it is coming proactively and saying, who am I? Then mostly it can be used like this as a pointer to check on who you are. But this also, you are absolutely right, sometimes is taken too far. Because I find people who are not using who am I as an inquiry, but they're just going, who am I, who am I, who am I, like a mantra or something. So,
yeah, that happens because sometimes when the mind comes really strong and it's really hard to disentangle, I almost have to use it as a mantra for a little bit before I can start sinking into the depth of the question. You know what I mean?
yeah. One thing we can inquire into together here right now is that the I that wants to sink into the depth of the question is which one? Which is the inquiry itself, isn't it? So we are inquiring
Yes.
into who am I, and then there's a I which is coming and saying, I need to use the who am I to inquire into the depth of who I am. So who is this I that is trying to use who am I?
Yeah, that I can also be observed. It's in front of the lens.
As what?
It's observable, so it's an object, right? So it's not really me.
Can we find this object?
No, not physically.
Because this person idea is not even found like atoms and molecules. It is not even found like the body. I can point to the body and say, okay, this body is the person, but is it really? The body doesn't want freedom. The body doesn't want better relationships. The body doesn't want money. You see, so all of these are personal. That's why I say that the person is a second level delusion actually. We can't even find it in this phenomenal realm. You see. Even our imagination of it is not very clear. And that is the whole mystery. How something which is not even here, we don't even have a clear picture of it, seems to get so much of our belief that I must be that.
Yeah.
And it's very sneaky because all that we find of this person is a representative voice. Its lawyer seems to be in our head saying, I must do this or I must not do this. Now I must do it like this. I am doing it like this. You see? So we're still buying into this idea that I am a separate entity without actually being able to find the separate entity. Therefore, Bhagavan's question, who am I, is so pristine because not only does it wipe away the belief in this false one, it also points us to what is really here. See? So now even this idea that I am using the inquiry, although relative to all other ideas, we can say it is quite auspicious. But even this idea can be used. Even this idea can be used for our inquiry itself. Who is the one that is using the inquiry?
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I need to start using that question because there's some I that's forming around the person that's doing the inquiry now. and it's like a good cop, you
Yeah.
know, somebody that gets it, kind of, and is going to use the inquiry. Okay. Thank you so much.
Very welcome, my dear. You reminded me of this story that I used to share very often, but I haven't shared for a few months. So maybe I can share now again. Yeah. Suppose that we were born into this world which had no mirrors. So we could not see who we are. And everyone around us, starting from our parents, told us that you are a cat. They said you are a cat. Huh? You're a cat. Then even this mind came. It said you're a cat. And what you have to do is get the next bowl of milk. So the entirety of our life became about this belief that I am a cat. And what is my next bowl of milk? How do I get this next bowl of milk? So then various bowls of milk came. Relationships came, relationships went. Money came, money went. Health of the body came, health of the body went. All of these bowls of milk came and they went. And something still did not feel satisfied. It did not find the eternal sense of peace and joy. Then someone comes and says that there is one ultimate bowl of milk, which is freedom. You get that nectar, the nectarine milk, the bowl of milk, which is never ending nectar. And then you will be full of bliss and joy. Then we went to various places trying to get this bowl of milk. I want freedom. The cat wants this bowl of milk. You see, it said this is the ultimate bowl of milk, the never-ending nectarine milk. Now I only want freedom. And we try various things to get it. But even this freedom seems so elusive. The cat trying to get to freedom wants to become a free cat. Then you come to a sage like Guruji who says, you're not a cat, can you show me the cat? And initially for many there can be resistance. Says, no, I came for my bowl of milk because I'm clear I'm a cat. So give me my joy and bliss which was promised. Don't ask me to whether I'm a cat or not. So many will leave from satsang. See? Because it is only the sage which is carrying a mirror now. And he's showing you, I'm showing you the mirror, can you show me the cat? So this question, who am I? This inquiry, who am I? Is actually the mirror which is helping you to see that there is no person here. So many times, even the inquiry, even the greatest pointings of the sages, the cat itself takes on, hoping that it will lead to some bowl of milk at the end. But freedom is not coming to becoming a free cat. It is freedom from the identity of being the cat. So notice that the mind will come in and say, see, now if you do the inquiry properly, you found your way. Now do the inquiry properly, just do it like this. This is just the cat trying to become free. So when you see that there is no cat here, there is no doer, there is nobody here that will become free, then that is freedom. Freedom from the false belief in the idea that I exist as a person.
That's a great story. Thank you.
I find it very helpful.
It's exactly what I'm doing. I'm the cat that's trying to find my freedom bowl of milk.
And then the cat says, okay, now you've taken even this away from me. Now what am I supposed to do? So that's why I say that as long as we are not buying our next thought, don't believe your next thought is freedom now. Because there is no cat. We only pull up the cat conditioning when we believe our next thought, when we tug at this tree of conditioning through our belief in our thoughts, only then can we pretend to be a cat that even wants freedom. Although it must be said that amongst all endeavors, I would still say that the endeavor for freedom is still can be called auspicious. But sometimes what happens is that this cat either ends up being a very frustrated cat because there is no freedom for the cat, or it becomes a very spiritually egoistic cat. That I got it, I found it, I made it, I'm the best inquirer ever. So like this. So to see. So it's very useful even to see who is the one that's saying, I am using the inquiry now. Who is this I? And to see that even this is the non-existent one. By the way, this does not mean that we have to drop the inquiry, because the dropping of the inquiry prematurely is also a conclusion which comes from the mind. So for a while it can seem very wobbly, because I had a path, now he's taken the path also away from me. I don't know what to do. But he said also don't drop the inquiry. It can seem like completely confusing and frustrating to the mind. But if you can just stay with this and see what is happening now. The dropping of this mental knowing of what I must do is surrender. Then as we surrender to this, not knowing, not buying the content of our thoughts, and continuing very naturally to inquire into who am I? Who is aware of even these words, who am I? Who is aware of the thoughts which are coming in response to these words? So inquiry can be very, very pristine in this way. Just a sincere asking, who am I? Not as a practice, but as a genuine questioning. Sincere questioning. I don't know who I am, but I am here. Who knows even that I am here? And with this kind of openness, this kind of wobbliness, some fear can come. The not knowing what to do next, this kind of fear can come. But just as you continue to remain in satsang, you'll find very quickly that these words which are pointing you to what you are, these pointers, seem more and more clear. And you've not made a practitioner out of yourself. You've not made a career seeker out of yourself now. You don't know what is going to happen next. So I'd be very happy actually next time when we speak, if you can say that, what is your finding when you ask, who am I? What is your discovery about who you are? What is your seeing about who you are? Not just how it moves your attention back away from the mind and away from the content of the word. The question was, who am I? And although all the beautiful byproducts can be there, the root of the question still remains, who are you? See? So if you sincerely ask this question, who am I? Including ask yourself, who is asking the question, who am I? Who am I? It becomes just so strong like this. Who am I? Not even taking on the perspective of the one who's using now. Who am I?
Right now, when I ask the question, all I get is just silence, and it's a peaceful silence, but then the silence gets disrupted with thoughts after a little bit, and then that's where it sort of ends, and then I have to like ask other questions about who's thinking those thoughts and come back to the who am I question. So that's where I'm at right now.
This is very good. This is very good. So, as you continue with this inquiry, we can also look together. We can do the inquiry also together to see whether we can come to the discovery of who you are, the recognition of who you are. Because often I say that there are two things which are happening in satsang. The first is the simpler thing we can say, which is the recognition of who you are. And the second is the dropping of the false conditioning, the false beliefs that we carried about ourselves. So my feeling is that very quickly, in a few satsangs, as we look together, we'll come to this recognition of who we are. And then it is just the old garbage which remains to be thrown out, which will also happen automatically as you remain in satsang. Thank you so much for this beautiful interaction, and welcome to satsang.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Love you. Thank you.
Father, can I ask a question?
Yes, my dear, please come.
Thank you. There's some confusion over here.
Yes.
Because I was listening to some Rupert Spira, and he was saying that that the phrase, the question, who am I, is overused. And he uses the term, am I aware? He thinks that one's even more pristine and clear. So there's confusion over here because I want to believe everything you say. And I want you to be right. I want you to be the final authority. And I also really like Rupert Spira, and I find him very easy to listen to, and it's very soothing and clear.
It reminded me, sorry, we'll just pause for a second. It reminded me that in satsang, one time, it just came up here. Ask yourself, are you aware now? And then I said, I feel that this question, are you aware now, is the most profound words which have come from this mouth. Then very soon after that, maybe Amaya or somebody sent me a video where Rupert was also asking, are you aware? And I said that this is some sort of divine coincidence, you see.
Oh, good! It came out of your mouth. Oh, good. That makes me happy.
I'm not saying it came from here first or something. It's not about that. I'm just saying that I just found that this came, and I found it was so profound. And also then somebody sent me these videos where others were also starting to ask this, maybe even before it came from here. Maybe long before. I'm not sure what the date of the video was. But there was a beautiful theme to how this question was playing out. You see? And I would like to say that I still feel that, am I aware now? Are you aware now? Is the most direct way in which you can find the reality of what you are. It might just be that for the past couple of months we've not focused so much on this question. But I would still say that even more than... So what happened here is that there were these pointers which were coming in order like this. I would say that if you want to come to the end of suffering, which is what most people who come to satsang will want, then I have a simple key for you, which is don't believe your next thought. Then what is the question that remains for many in satsang? They will come and say, yes, I cannot suffer without believing my thought, and there is so much more ease here, so much less suffering here. But what about God? Can you show me God? And I say that yes, I can show you God by asking you this question. Can you stop being now? This being, which cannot be stopped, this consciousness, is God, is I am. I am that I am, as God said. And some of you after that might also say, yes, but what about that which is supposed to be the absolute? What is before I am, as Guruji's book says, before I am? What is that absolute? So I say that for this also I have a very simple question for you. Are you aware now? You find that the answer just is yes. Did you have a phenomenal experience to confirm your awareness? No. You just know that you are aware. There is a knowing of this knowingness. There is an awareness of this awareness. As Guruji says, it is an only non-phenomenal experience. So, am I aware now? I continue to feel that it's the most powerful pointing that has emerged from here. And I find no dichotomy.
Well, I'm really glad to hear this because it was a video that I got from somebody in the Sangha. It might have been a Maya who has a lot of Rupert or somebody. And I listened to it, and it is the question I'm using most now. And it absolutely, 100% every time, just puts me right into that non-phenomenal place. And I've been finding so much more silence lately that's actually been scaring me, which I've exposed already. But he said in that video that it drops us right into the heart and into that deep, deep sleep place instantly. That there's the whole phenomenon vanishes with that question. So I'm really glad I asked you this because I was having there was this confusion over here, and I feel comforted. I've had so many paths that I've taken in life, and I'm having this urge to keep it really simple these days. You know, just really simple. One path, one truth.
What also will happen is that as you become more and more settled in your own seeing, you'll find that all of these beautiful masters can be heard, and you learn to rely on your own seeing so much that sometimes when something even seems like it's in dichotomy to something, it doesn't bother you because your own seeing becomes the primary reference point. And if something At least if something is not shared from here, you have an opportunity every day to come and say, Ananta, you say like this, can we look together? Because something doesn't seem to be resonating in the way that I'm seeing it and the way that you are saying it. So can we see together and see what you mean by this? And I'm very open to this kind of contemplation together. And we look together and see. Because as you're coming to more and more into this silence, all of this will seem so obvious to you. That which you find, like Anil was saying earlier, which seemed to be so conceptual some time ago, will become just so obvious and simple. And you find that even the greatest scriptures, what they are saying, you see the Ashtavakra Gita, the Ribhu Gita, all of these, they seem like they are just kindergarten textbooks. They'll not seem so fancy now. They seem like so obvious. Yes, yes, yes. Like, so then there will be a great inclusiveness. And then all different expressions of the sages, the masters, will be accepted because one is talking about love being the ultimate. One talking about being is the ultimate. One is saying there is no awareness. One is saying there is only something else, whatever. Then as your reference becomes your own seeing, then all of these are also accepted with big love. But the ability to cause confusion, that will reduce more and more. That is the point of this direct sort of satsang. Because I want you to see for yourself what the truth is. And once you see and confirm over and over that the sun comes out from the east, then you can hear from the greatest authorities, you can read in the most honored scriptures that actually the sun comes from the west. It won't shake you because you've seen for yourself what the truth is. What happened here also so much is that mostly what is being shared by various teachers is accepted with a lot of love, a lot of enjoyment. Even if someone comes in, I've heard things like this, that awareness is just a functioning of consciousness or something like this. And when you see that, you see for yourself that there is this awareness even of being, and there is a phenomenal witnessing which is functioning of consciousness. You see, there is not this impulse to reject or to criticize or to say no, they are wrong and I am right or something like that. Just yes, it's just an expression. It's being expressed like this. Who knows who is right, who is wrong? That is not of any importance. But I have to be true to what is seen here. In the same way, you just have to remain true to what you see. This is integrity, as Maharaj said. So the words of satsang we are using to just check into our own seeing. And if it resonates with our own seeing, we accept it. If we find that it seems to be different, then we come up and say, well, this is how I see it. Can we look together? This is very beautiful for us to do.
I was wondering about the silence.
Yes.
Does it morph into other things?
Is it
Or
more
is it
what?
always silent?
Is it more what?
Does the silence morph into other things? Does it turn into other things? Or does it always stay as silence?
Actually, silence also needs to be defined before we can share more about it. Because silence, the word, is understood by many to mean different things. So let's get a clarity on the definition of silence, and then we can explore more about it together. One is this phenomenal outward silence, which is I don't feel like speaking, I don't feel like interacting with anyone. That is the verbal silence, let's call it that. Second is this quietening down of the mind. This is the quietening down and the powerlessness of the mind. Sometimes it can be that the number of thoughts themselves they reduce, and sometimes it is that the power that the words seem to have of the mind that itself seems to reduce, and sometimes it can be both. So then it feels so quiet. This silence is one more silence. Oh, the mind has become so quiet. So like that. And the third silence is the discovery of the silence that is awareness itself, which is unmoving, no phenomena, completely silent, empty of all energetic constructs. This is the ultimate silence. So in this silence, which is your truest nature, this one does not move. This one does not morph into anything else. Although we can say that the appearance of consciousness is like the morphing of an aspect of it, but the mental silence, it can sometimes become mental noise again. The verbal silence can also become verbal speaking again. So these phenomenal experiences of silence are also coming and going as all other phenomena is coming and going. But the silence, which is an attribute of your truest nature, of your reality of what you are, that silence is unchanging.
I think the experience over here is the second one. I don't think it's the third one yet, but I do. It's the mind that's really been quieting down, and and the silence is really loud,
Yeah. Yes.
like really loud, almost like it's so loud, so loud the silence. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's the third kind of silence.
And you don't have to worry so much about the distinguishing of it. I just wanted to define it so that the potential for future confusion is not there. Because sometimes, so as you're coming more and more in satsang, you'll find more and more naturalness in the second silence. It's like you had this one imaginary friend who pretended to be your best friend and always chatting, always making interpretations and judgments about everything. You see, now it is gone quiet because you have lost your interest in listening to it so much. So it seems to have got a lot quieter. Sometimes it feels a bit strange. This is just too quiet. See something. See. It can be like this. Yes, but we get used to this more and more to this sense of mental quietness, mental peace. And even if a lot of thoughts come, because they don't have that power over you, mostly they will not disturb your silence. This silence will become more of the default state. But there is openness for mental noise to come. We are not resisting the mind in any way.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, my dear.
Namaste, Father. फादर मेरी आपसे एक प्रे है प्लीज फादर फादर ये माइंड की स्टोरी खत्म कर
He says, I want to finish the story of my mind.
प्लीज फादर प्लीज मेरी प्रेयर सुनो फादर मैं थक गई मुझसे अब बर्दाश्त नहीं होता है फादर
He says, I'm very tired. Hear my prayer and finish the story of this mind.
मैं गुरुद्वारे भी जाती हूँ वहाँ पे भी जाके सिर्फ यही प्रे करती हूँ कि बाबा जी बस बख्श लो अब बस अब प्लीज फादर
Finish the story of some mind. Okay, so if I say right now, it is finished. अभी इसी वक्त story खत्म हो गई. All you have to do is not believe what the mind is saying. जो आपका मन कर रहा है उसमें विश्वास मत करो. Are you willing to let go of the story?
फादर मुझे बात भी नहीं करने देते बीच में आके सारे डिस्टर्ब करते रहते हैं कभी कोई आ जाता है रूम में कभी कोई फादर मुझे बस करो मुझे सच दे दो प्लीज
Right now, you are the right now. Mind will not stop. You have to stop believing. मन को बोलने
मैं बिलीव नहीं करती मैं नहीं करती
You say that I don't believe. You cannot suffer.
पता नहीं वो सब ये सब कैसे हो जाता है मुझे नहीं पता मैं नहीं बिलीव करती
Yes. So now, whatever the mind is saying, don't believe it. Tell me what the problem is. Without believing your mind,
फादर मैं ठीक हूँ ना मुझे सारे कहते हैं कि नहीं कहीं अकेले नहीं जाना मुझे जाने नहीं दे रहे मैं शिव ब्रदर के घर जाके सत्संग ज्वाइन करना चाहती थी उन्होंने मुझे मना कर दिया अपने घर नहीं आने दिया कहते आज आप मेरी बात मानो ये
what this you are saying is now saying to your mind.
मैं नहीं करती बिलीव
Then what is the trouble? Whatever is coming in life, Can that be a problem without you believing what the mind is saying? They don't let me go here or there. Is that also not a thought?
यस फादर, ये भी थॉट ही है, ये जिद है माइंड की।
Yes.
माइंड अपनी ना जिद पूरी करना चाहता है।
What she's saying is that this is the stubbornness of the mind, which wants to say that my life should be this way, or that way.
यस, माइंड खुद को, माइंड राइट प्रूफ करना चाहता है खुद को।
The mind wants to prove that it is right. The mind is not right. You are truth right now. You are free right now.
यस फादर,
There is nothing.
जब माइंड पे बिलीव कर लेती हूँ ना, तब सबके ऊपर बर्डन बन जाती हूँ।
Exactly. So not only is it a burden to yourself, this mind seems to become a burden to the world.
फादर, मेरे हार्ट में जैसे पता नहीं कितनी सारी एनर्जीज प्ले करती हैं। माइंड में, हेड में टिक 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 कुछ ना कुछ बज रहा है।
All of these energies, all of the energies that you're experiencing will be allowed to be released. ये सब एनर्जी चली जाएंगी अगर आप अपने मन को अकेला छोड़ दोगे।
मन को अकेला छोड़ दूं।
Same thing, what I'm saying, which is don't believe your thoughts. Let the mind come and see whatever it wants. You don't believe it. And don't worry about your energetic freedom. That satsang is doing on its own for you.
फादर, मेरा माइंड मुझे लग रहा है कि बहुत जिद्दी है। बहुत ज्यादा जिद्दी है माइंड।
Now who's speaking these things is also the mind.
ये भी माइंड बोल रहा है।
Don't believe any of this. This is a report about the mind. The report card of the mind came from the mind only.
मैं कंफ्यूज हो रही हूँ।
Yes, even this is a thought that I am getting confused is a thought, and the mind will say, "I'm so confused. I don't know what to do next. अब मैं क्या करूँ?" You know, these kind of things. But you just watch what it is saying. Don't give it your belief. Let it come and let it go. Okay, we seem to have lost her. Are you still there, my dear? Okay, so there's a queue of people that want to come. First, Pratik wants to come. Pratik can come.
Yes. Father, I would just like to share on something how Rupert Spira and Nisargadatta played here. Because when I started our satsang, simultaneously I was watching Rupert Spira also.
Yeah.
And Nisargadatta came quite later. But what happens that it helped me in a really beautiful way that I would like to say that if somehow I have picked up any concepts like awareness, consciousness, and when you listen to Rupert, you are like thoroughly frustrated. I mean, what the hell? I mean, he uses awareness and consciousness synonymously. He uses finite mind for consciousness. Use it, and so initially it was like that, but once it starts getting integrated in your understanding, so it perfectly resonates, and whatever Rupert says or whatever you say or whatever Nisargadatta is saying, so sometimes yes, with Ramdas and Raji also. If you see Raji ji, he has a totally different way of expression.
Yeah.
So if you have any concepts from somewhere, you would be thoroughly frustrated, I think. You would be at a total loss that what these guys are saying and what I heard, this is completely different.
Yeah.
So, one master explained the other master. That's how it played here. And
Pratik is also frozen. I got new Siddhi today. Freeze Siddhi. Whoever comes to talk to me just freezes.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. He's coming back. My Marvel comic superpower. Yes.
hello,
Mr. Freeze. Yes, my dear, please come.
hello.
Yes, we can hear you now. Can you hear me? Like the old days where we used to have those trunk calls. Hello, can you hear me now? You cannot hear me now. Do you hear me now? No. He doesn't hear.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah. You hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear now.
Okay.
So I was just saying that everything was, there was no confusion between the masters basically. Basically, there was no confusion between different expressions of truth.
Yeah.
That's how I would like to put it. So sometimes I jokingly, I contemplate that once you, especially with Nisargadatta, once you get what Nisargadatta is saying, mostly your understanding is correct, mostly. Not always, but mostly. And even if a master uses, very meaningless words like awareness is cow and being is buffalo and mind is donkey. And he keeps on shuffling with the words. Still, if you are following, if you can follow, then that means your understanding is correct. So that's how it played. I mean, here,
It's very,
different masters.
this is a very important point, because imagine if all the expressions of the masters were the same. It would be terrible, not just because the beauty would be lost, but also because it would be so easy to come to a conceptual sense of understanding. Yes, this one says the same way, this one says the same way, this one says the same way. Therefore, I have now picked up all the concepts and I know the truth, and I can also say the same way. That is why it's very important that as you watch various expressions of the truth, not even that is required actually. In a single satsang, there can be so many contradictory things that can be said, so many confusing things that can be said. Even in a week, there can be just so much opposites being shared. Because even in that, there's so much beauty. This doesn't allow you to settle for just a conceptual understanding. See? It doesn't allow us to settle for a conceptual understanding, and forces us to really look and look and look and look within. And once we find the truths in this way, then it doesn't matter. You see? The expression stops mattering so much. You come to satsang to enjoy the presence, your own presence. So it's very good. Like Anilji also said earlier, that all this, because even in his case, there was a period where so much struggle. Oh, this one, Bhagwan says this, Maharaj says this, you said this, Guruji said this. All this can happen, you know. And then it brings you to this point of, oh, I give up. This is not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to make a consistent framework out of this. So let me stop trying and surrender it to the master and remain open to seeing for myself what is the truth. Because actually, I feel when I was fresh into the sharing, there was also a lot of naivety that used to play here. To just, I would say, just don't believe your next thought and it is done. I thought that everybody will just lap it up and finished. It doesn't happen. That which seems so clear and obvious then becomes something else, then is confused to be this and that, and this entire play goes on along with this. And I say, can you stop being? I used to feel that just with the arising of this question, I used to call it my master's gifts, these questions. I used to feel that I just ask, can you stop being? Can you stop being? Can you stop being? Everyone will discover the consciousness or the beingness, done. And then all I have to do is ask, are you aware now? It's clear, I am aware. I don't see it as an object, yet I know it. Therefore, it is the knowing of knowingness itself. What else is there to talk in satsang? Just put that recording up. Everybody has to see it once. Done. It doesn't work like that. Even if these questions lead to the recognition, and they do. If you openly check, am I aware now? There is a instant recognition of who you are. Okay? But I realized that just because the recognition is there doesn't necessarily mean that it will lead to the wiping away of most of the conditioning or the washing off of false beliefs or the losing of the power that this mind has. So now I'm not so templatized in my approach, point 1, point 2, point 3. Because I know it doesn't just click, it doesn't go click, click, click like that. So I wait, whatever my master has to share in that day, I just keep my mouth available to share that. No conceived idea of what will lead this one to the truth or what will lead that one to the truth. I have no idea. All the ideas that I had, that this will just be it. I'll just ask everyone, are you aware now? And they see it finished. It doesn't work as simply, although it is still so profound. That's why it's important to have this sense of difference in the expression. But we must also clarify another thing, which is that one thing is to have difference in expression and to recognize that the essence is the same. This is important. And those are very welcome. Like, I don't know what happened to that. We used to have this Advaita channel where we would come and, the various members of the Sangha would read uh, Maharaj, they would read Bhagwan, they would read even Rupert Spira. Even David used to read Rupert very well. In fact, I often just joke with him that I get more from listening to his videos of him reading Rupert than from listening to Rupert directly. So it was very beautiful that he used to do. And so we had this list of those where I could smell the same sort of fragrance, the same sort of presence, the same sort of clarity. And so I'm very welcome. These expressions are very welcome. Now, there are other expressions which they are accepted as expressions of consciousness. You see? But when it is heard, I don't find here at least how those could be helpful or useful in any way. So then there is no reason to have those also and then have complete confusion. So we're not talking about anarchy. You see? So although differences of expression are allowed, we're not talking about this platform where it's complete mayhem and all the ones who are coming to the Sangha are getting completely confused and increase in suffering rather than getting to this state of ease and peace. So in this phenomenal play, the play here is playing in such a way that there is encouragement for that which smells the same way as the recognition here is. And also there is the seeing that it is possible for very strong confusion to come if something is shared which doesn't seem to be resonating with what is being shared from the heart here, from the Sadguru which is sharing here. Although ultimately everything is an expression of consciousness. Okay, Radha said she has to go, but she wanted to share before going. To ask? Okay, you want to come.
I don't have anything to say. It's like this constant sense that something's not right.
This constant sense that something is not right.
Or I wouldn't say it's constant.
Okay.
It's not constant.
Because then if it was constant even in sleep, we'd be like, something is not right. Yes. Is it anything more than this? Just this sensing that something is not right? Does it come with some evidence or like doubts or what?
Not doubts, but I think something is given over to the mind. Like if there is an experience, something like like really sensing the guru, or not really sensing, but and then that sense is not there later, then the mind kind of wants that experience, and then so there is a knowing that I'm not an experience, but there is an difference in experience when the mind is not believed. And it's very sweet.
Yeah.
So something craves it, and that itself becomes, and then it feels like belief is going, which I'm not sure really,
Yeah.
like that's crazy, it sounds. Oh, Father, and I don't. So something is very uncomfortable with that, if I'm denying it or it's really not here.
Forget it.
Yeah. Because it's like when you say the noise of the mind is not there, and if it's too quiet, there is a sense that something is going on, like there is still belief. I don't know, like it's just like creating problems.
I say to you, forget it now, mostly for anything.
Yeah.
It's because I know if I say anything, that will be taken on as something. So not knowing is not trouble, although it can seem a bit strange.
It's almost like this wanting to do something, or like,
Yeah.
so like one of the guys is talking about like this, who am I, if it becomes like a, so if I'm doing something and then there's like, okay, I'm gonna go sit and what's that song, even that is, I feel like the mind wanting to do something and feels very like what to do kind
But
of.
who would do it? The mind is saying, do this or don't do this. You're saying, no, maybe this is also the mind, so I should do or not do.
No, I don't like it, like I don't know. I really don't know what I want to ask,
Yeah.
but there is a sense that something is.
This is a variation of that same wobbliness, feeling of discomfort, or there is this happening.
Yeah, but this wobbliness, when it settles, like it's just like that love. And then when it's like that state, it's a state. It's also a state. But then when that's gone, then you crave it. Like there's a craving, and it's also the mind's craving, and
This is
like a sense that this should be there always. So then you're actually not in that state always. So then it doesn't feel like grounded energies or whatever. Then it feels like, okay, you're back in the mind. So that is kind of playing here.
Okay, let's look together at one thing. The most pristine state comes. Most beautiful state comes. So what really? Ultimately, so what? Even that is nothing. It can be enjoyed. Like a sweet, somebody got me a big bag of chocolates yesterday. Very nice. I cannot keep eating those all day.
I think what happens is it's seen that the expression is so different in that state. It's just like your master is just doing it all, and then something changes, and
Then it seems like I'm doing it.
yes,
Is it?
yes,
But still, only the master is doing
yes.
it. So even the changing of states, who's doing it?
The problem is kind of like taken personally here.
I am doing something to bring the state, I am doing something to keep the state, I did something to lose the state. All of these are just ideas. I want to have just that state. I know it's just a state. And now getting thrown away, punched away.
It's like it goes on in the same day, so it's just too much. Like this crying is like just, and then
Enjoy this also. Because I hear you saying, and she's like, oh, so sweet. There was a time here also where it used to be like moments of just pristine joy and then moments of personhood and suffering.
Yeah.
It seemed
I
like such a
don't know if
beautiful
it's
drama.
suffering, Father, but it feels like sharing with Amba. It feels personal energy, like and you know the sticky energies. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but I feel sometimes I feel I'm not being true to that. And even the question, who am I? Sometimes it's very profound, like oh my God, this question. And sometimes like so boring, jaded kind of. And that's just the mind is questioning it. Really comes from the Sadguru, then it feels like. And another thing I wanted to share, this comes up every time when everybody talks about presence, and
Yes.
I don't know what I want to say, Father, but then it doesn't rest in presence at all, like mostly, actually almost nil these days. It's either the mind or I don't know where it is.
You've been humble now. I think it's either the mind or just awareness.
Because it used to be in the past that it was very strong, the presence was felt very, and it's not felt at all. Like I mean, it's impossible that it's not here.
Yes. You still are.
Yeah, but it's not sensed as much.
So much attention is not going to the
presence. And so then there is a doubt that because in the past it's all just nonsense, but you know, this doubt can come that it's not sensed like that anymore, that sweetness is not felt. And so the doubts can come. But it's just clearer that you know, this is all nothing, but it plays out in a weird way sometimes. Or like,
don't be attracted to any sweetness.
Yeah.
Or attached to any sweetness. I know you married into Bengali family. Bengali sweets are the best. Also, the way that they speak is the sweetest, usually. Because it can be that something is using the kind of state there is or the sweetness there is in the expression to come to some sort of saying that this is the right thing and this is not the thing.
Yes.
It's neither this nor that.
I can even see like it. So it's kind of given. I give it to the mind, like just this recognition that I've always been with Guruji, like, and the sense that this should be there always. And so that is given to the mind, and then it's very painful when I don't sense it, when I don't sense it. So that so so the sense that there should be a certain state, or you know, the sense something wants to like bring back the attention always to awareness and sense that eternal whatever.
It doesn't have to be only a certain state. It's called a state because it is coming and going.
It's not necessary that, you know, it makes no sense the way I'm talking, but how can anything be necessary? It's just what it is.
It is remnants of that reporter guy, checker guy. Forget it. No, it's not your problem.
Yes.
We, many years ago, when we just got married, and when we got married, then Garima and no, I used to be a complete atheist, non-believer, and she used to be a big believer in religion. So when I started getting into spirituality, then we started singing some bhajans in the house. And one of the bhajans she knew but I had never heard before was, the lyrics were Jahir Vidhi Rakhe Ram, Tahir Vidhi Rahiye. It literally means whatever state Ram gives to you, stay in that state. So I found that very beautiful because at that time we had this business and things like this and ups and downs in the marriage and business, everything. See, so the words of this bhajan gave a lot of consolation here that the state is being given by God, is an expression of God. Surrender in whatever is. This was long before Advaita and any of this. Very beautiful. Whatever state Ram gives, stay in that state. That's Ram's doing. So actually, this reminded me that this is off topic a bit, but another beautiful bhajan that used to be sung at Ramesh Balsekar's house. This one which said, तुझ सगुण मनो या निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण iku govindu re. Means, how should I refer to you? As one with attributes or one without attributes? But whether with attributes or without attributes, there's only one God, one Krishna. So this whole dichotomy, consciousness versus awareness, got dissolved in these simple, ancient words from the sages. So much beauty in them. Just try to find this bhajan.
So my class Marathi.
Yeah, Marathi and
What's
Ramesh Balsekar.
Yeah.
Maharaj and Maharaj. Will you look for it then?
Yeah, what's the name?
It's Tukaram or one of the saints who said, "Tuja saguna mano ya nirguna re." Do you remember Marathi or no?
I speak Marathi at home. I mean, with my parents.
Okay. Okay, let me check on the queue.
Can I come up now?
Yes, my dear, you can come.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, yes. Well, it's a bit patchy, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. There was something I want to leave here. It's relating to what you said yesterday in Satsang.
Yes.
You were explaining, you were sharing so beautifully about, what, how you were able to speak about truth in concept still, and how, and you use the same words like, I cannot reply that so good, but and also you shared about your experience when you were in an auto rickshaw and just it became so clear to you what beingness is, and some of what this touched me so beautifully yesterday, and what came up here is, when there's realization, or what you may say as realization here, or looking at this, these are still states. It's not, it's just coming and going. It's there's and the cannot. But it was. I have to speak from the past. Before I came up, it was alive here. How this ego is still in the play, just playing with these states, and just taking the states and making something out of it, and there is no really I felt so very much to clean up here, to come up to clean something up, what is playing. This state, which when I'm in there and sharing, in heart altar or something, that of course in that moment they are vivid, they are just life. It's just life like that. But and also there were states going on for a longer period of time. Everything was so. And then, after it was just temporary. is like that, and then in the mind and plays out this spiritual ego, and I just felt very much to just up here and just to, because there's so much potential in it. So on with this play, and I'm not interested to let this play. So I just want to put it here.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful, isn't it? So for us to be able to see also that how all of this can play out. What is the so many seeming intricacies in this whole play, so many subtleties in this whole play. How intelligent even the mind is. It can take the most pristine spiritual states and spiritual realization. Also, it can try and take hold of these things. This is very beautiful experience. And as we stop falling for these tricks more and more, never with the complacency that a new trick cannot come, because a new trick can always come. But as more and more we start falling for these tricks, we stop falling for these tricks. We find that the mind has to come up with something really innovative, something really new, sometimes very interesting to get us involved again, to build up the spiritual ego. It needs to play with some very profound concepts actually. So what just objectively it seems that even this is such a beautiful play. Even the spiritual ego is such a beautiful one who is undergoing it. It doesn't feel like it is beautiful. It at that point is just so full of itself. But when we can watch now from some distance, then we see, wow, even this spiritual ego as a term itself is so beautiful, isn't it? Like the most, like the most profound concepts and take them personally. I am that. I am the knowing, and to take it personally to the non-existent one. It's quite a play, actually. It's quite a game.
Yeah.
Ultimately, all for the enjoyment of consciousness, all for your enjoyment, actually.
Yeah, I just have to say, most of the time I'm just normal.
Yes. Same here.
Experiences and whatever, just normal and often very arrogant. It's really like that. I mean, but it's really, playing with this stuff. But actually, what I'm a little bit surprised. I don't mind actually.
You're not able to hear your way, bad network connection. You're not able to hear all your words. You're surprised about what?
Mute. I can hear myself also bad.
I see. I'll mute when you speak. Yes.
I'm surprised that it doesn't matter. I'm not. When I speak about it now, it just doesn't leave anything here. You know, it's just, it's not. I used to be very, very guilty or ashamed to come up with this, but I really don't mind to bring it up. I just feel so, it feels so beautiful to come up with, you know, just so, oh yeah, just like that, you know. I'm really enjoying it, I wanted to say. To just say it how it is. I'm always very happy when, you know, when I'm just also with my family, which is so very much not spiritual in that sense. They're just so, and just, yeah, just to be together and speak. And it's nice to have a break from all this spiritual stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to clean up here. And thank you for letting me share this.
Thank you for sharing. Very beautiful. I have to say that I don't believe you about one thing, which is that you're very arrogant mostly. I don't. If I heard that correctly, I don't believe it. Because you're very sweet mostly. When did we start? 9:30.
Bhagavan, I see so many people from my earlier generation,
Yeah.
like my father and their forefather. They were so simple actually.
Yes.
They were so, and if I look at them, they almost realize, and
Yes.
it's just that they just did not know that they realized. And even today, if I see around, I almost see everybody realized. Almost everybody is realized, and this uh, this is more so prevalent in the insentient beings. You know, everything looks realized. Everything, wherever I look at, it is the same one actually. It is the same one. But with the sentient beings, what happens? There is a conditioning, because we are so much used to judging the people. That is the most we interact with. So this habit comes in between. So the best is to always fold the hands. This is the best. They all know reality. Each and everything knows reality. It is only the you actually who is deluded.
Very good. Very beautiful. Actually, this reminded me of what I used to share often earlier, which was that my father's side of the family in Western UP, and anytime I visited over there, it just feels like all of them are just realized because they're not concerned at all. They're just smiling, they're going about their day, they go and tend to the fields, to the cows, they look at taking water out from the hand pumps, and there's so much just naturally without any of this knowledge, without any of these concepts. So just enjoying their being. I feel that this simple innocence was very much present in a large part of the small villages here. Maybe even, like you say, your previous generation. A lot of simplicity of being. It's very good.
Now I don't know what to say. I'm burning all this satsang.
You're burning?
Somehow in the body, it's coming like some reactions more. I'm feeling more in the body and not thinking so much. Sometimes mind can perceive, but it's okay what's going on. And I just feel to ask for help, something. It's important to express. It's not a question. Because I was feeling some spaces coming in satsang, and sometimes so it's very good. Good and bad is nothing, but but okay, I need this space, and I feel sometimes I'm confused with the fact because and it seems that in a different way, something doesn't want to talk. It's curious. I was feeling something reacting in the body against this space that is coming, but perhaps you can perceive. Because I'm not interested when I'm looking at you, it's how I want. I'm not so interested in what it is, just in let it burn.
I feel actually that the last few weeks with you, I can sense a shift away from the mind.
Yes.
It is, you're not giving so much importance to the mind anymore. And that is naturally leading to in you. Of course, the mind will come and resist and some burning. All that is happening. It's fine.
It seems that the mind came for the body and it's talking through the body. And it began when you allowed me to scream and to express, and I was like crazy. Also, was very strong during retreat.
Yes.
Sometimes mind was imitating the screams, and I was asking some help for Amber. But it began. I'm so grateful for you allowing me to express, because I'm feeling that I have a safe space to express and to try, because sometimes my mind is mixed with these things, and it's not necessary to express everything what is burning. They are similar contents, or because sometimes people are sharing it. I feel like it was in me, but somehow I feel that it's also my pain that is burning, and there are similar things. You think, oh, I have no space. I had no space in my family, and it comes in the same. I want to speak, and I want the love. It's about the love, but it's here all the time. Just to have to burn these things, and it seems there are some competition, but it's also the past. Oh, I'm so happy. Because, okay, it's a question of some time in duality, but this is nothing. When I trust, I can be quiet, and and patience is coming, and I completely trust in you. Also going to Portugal, I will come out. I don't know. And I'm not so afraid of your lovely look. Love you, Father. Thank you. Love you. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I don't like to sing. But I'm music. This. Thank you, Father. Love you here also.
Father? Yeah. Father, there is a feeling of complete breakdown over here. Yeah, I try to isolate myself from the rest of the world, and I don't feel like going out.
I just don't like interacting with people and not pursuing any hobby.
Yes. So all of this is happening. If you don't label it breakdown, then it's just a simple dropping away of some activities, some socialization. And sometimes it's very natural for this to happen. As all the prior conditioning is being released, then even the outward appearance of what is appearing and not appearing in this life seems to change. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing we have to check is that who is this I which I continue to refer to myself as? I don't feel like this, I don't want to do this. Does that have any reality, this I? Is there an I which is breaking down? Is there an I which is breaking down?
But Father, I can't go on like this. I mean,
Who can't go on like that? Okay, you have two options. One option is to tell me who the I is. Second option is that instead of using the word I, use the word God. So God can't go on like this? I feel this is not a very good thing. Till we get to where the I is pointing, let's replace I with God.
Father, then I have some doubts like.
Other than God has some doubts.
Okay, God has. Whether God would really realize the truth.
Yes, yes, God can.
Or I would have to remain frustrated like this.
So this truth that we are looking for, the truth that we are looking for is the reality of the I. See, it is not an object to be found outside. Because we have found many objects, and all objects only give us momentary pleasure, momentary happiness, momentary joy. So it cannot be the search for an object. The truth must be something which I am. But the mind will resist this question. It will say, but what about my peace? What about my frustration? This is not helping. Till we don't come to clarity about who you are. So that is why satsang is different from most other interaction, most other spaces in this world. Because for most other spaces in this world, there is something to be offered to this I. You go to school, then the idea of you learn something in school. You go to relationships so that the idea that you have about yourself feels a sense of companionship, experiences some pleasure, all of these things. You make some money so that the idea you have about yourself feels a sense of security. It is only in satsang like this where we are not offering anything to this idea of you. I can't even offer you the end of your frustration. You see? I can only offer you this mirror. Who wants the end of frustration? If you can look for this one, then I can tell you that those who have found the truth about who they are have rarely ever said, I'm frustrated. Only as a joke, maybe sometimes. I have not seen anyone come to the end of their frustration without discovering what they are. Who is witnessing the mind's response to what I'm saying? Is that also the mind? Are you that one which is speaking the words of the mind? Or are you that one which is witnessing the words of the mind? Now, what's happening now?
Witnessing.
Okay, so if you are the witnessing, is the witnessing also frustrated? Is the witnessing breaking down? Is the witnessing frustrated? Is the witnessing worried about what is happening to your life? That is all.
It's the image which is getting frustrated.
Yes, yes. So this image is dancing in front of you, sometimes happy, sometimes frustrated, sometimes worried, sometimes all kinds of things. But you are not the image because you are that which sees this image. Once you recognize the stability of this witnessing, the unchangingness of this awareness, then there is not so much concern about how the image is dancing around.
Father, it's difficult.
Who's saying this? It's not.
It's the ego.
Yes, the ego is what? The ego is this belief in the separation that I exist as a prachi. But are you the ego? So the ego has a name called Prachi. It pretends to have a form like this body. But are you the ego? Who is aware even of the ego? The mind will come with all kinds of resistance. It's too difficult, I'm not getting it. What's the point of all of this? How will this help me? Will I become enlightened if I do this? All kinds of things it will say. But we can allow them to come and go. See, the moment you say it is the ego, that means you're already saying that I am not the ego. I am aware that something is the ego. So keep the ego also aside. What is left? Are you just the ego or there's something else also? If you had no idea about yourself and you had no name, if you did not believe that this is your form, the body, would you be, would you still exist or no? Without a name, without any sense that this is my body, is there anything more to you than this? Every cell of this body is changing every few years. So where are you in the body? Every cell is being replaced. Right now, if I take away some cells, will you go along with those cells? Or will you still remain? At which point will you go? What is it that you are? If I had some future technology which could replace everything that is in the body, one by one, limb by limb, we exchange this body for a new one. Then what remained here, although the body is brand new now, what is it that remained? Will you go along with the old body? Everything, brain, heart, everything being changed. One by one, we are replacing everything, okay? Everything is changing to a new one. Did you go along with all that that was now thrown away and discarded? Or are you still here in this new body? Where in the body are you?
Don't know actually.
Yes, so don't know is very good. So at least don't know means I don't know whether I am the body. I don't know whether I am Prachi. Then don't refer to yourself as that. At least while we don't know, let's not refer to ourselves as that. And there's this period of don't know can seem like a bit of a struggle for the mind. Because the mind wants to come to a conclusion that I am the body mind. You're saying I cannot be these organs of the body, these limbs of the body. I cannot be these thoughts which are coming and going. Who am I that is aware of the coming and going of thoughts? Thought comes, we say the mind is there. The thought goes, if there is no thought, we say it is the no mind. So who is aware of mind and no mind? When no attention on my ear, then no ear exists. When attention goes to the ear, then ear exists. Am I in the ear?
Father, whatever is understood is being understood by the
By the
ego.
How is the ego understanding? Who's the ego? Who is the one that is understanding? Okay, let's see. Who is the one that is understanding? What is your definition of ego?
It's the image.
Yes, so this image, like a painting, can it understand something? A painting can understand something? Or the mind is saying, I'm not getting it. What's happening? So what I was saying is that don't draw any conclusions yet. Remain in the not knowing and speak from what you see, directly from what you see, not from what the mind is saying. It is this direct seeing of what you are. It is the direct allowing of thoughts to come and go, which will help you when difficult situations arise. Because even in the most difficult situation, unless we are believing our thoughts, they cannot cause suffering. Even in the most difficult situations, if we remain in the clarity of who we are, we cannot suffer. So actually I understand what you meant when you said it is the ego which is understanding. So we don't want that kind of understanding. Which means only that it is the mind which is picking up these concepts more and more. But here what is happening now is the mind is being all concepts from the mind are being taken away from it actually. And we are left with the true understanding which is not mental. The true knowing which is not mental. The true seeing which is here now. You are witnessing this entire world as witnessing itself. You are aware of the play of existence as awareness itself. So, okay, now I've told you this, that you are that which is aware of this world and you don't exist as a person. Now you have to prove me wrong. find some evidence that this is not true. Will you look into this? I have said that you are awareness, that is aware even of existence, that is aware of every phenomena coming and going. All you have to do now is prove me wrong. So next time when we speak, just tell me how this is not true. So don't try to find the truth. Presume that what I'm sharing is not true and find out how it is not true. Sometimes you have to flip the game around. Tell me how you are not awareness, but you are actually a person. After looking for a while, after inquiring deeply into it, tell me how you are ego or you are a person and you are not awareness. Okay, actually we started at 9:30, so we'll close. Let me quickly read through the comments. Thank you also very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai.
Jai.